My chair is like on a blanket. Guys, I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna pull the trigger and get the RoboCap. I think. Come live with us in the powers. That's what I'm waiting for. Come on, come on, come on. Just adore you. I think I will. I think I will. I think I will. I've decided that I want... Whenever I get a Switch 2, I want the Animal Crossing one. That will exist one day. That will be my dream. And I'm not like... The thing is, like, I want it, but it's not... It doesn't feel like I want it, you know? It's not like I'm praying for it for Christmas morning kind of want. It's more like, I guess I'll have to get it eventually. Which I feel isn't, like, the appropriate kind of feeling when you're getting a gaming system. I think it should be like you're really pumped and excited, excitable, like how I feel for the RoboCap. If you guys didn't know, what did I do? Oh, I was streaming on... I didn't stream, but I was on a stream on Monday. I was on Elio's stream. I cried. I'm so emotional. I beat the Ender Dragon, or I beat Minecraft for the very, very, very first time. Like, we played it the first time we played together, me, Dizzy, and Elio. We quote unquote beat the Ender Dragon, but it was like we were cheating. Elio constructed the stronghold randomly. Actually, he didn't even construct the stronghold. He just made the portal. So this time we did the whole shebang, and we did it in 4 hours, and it was really impressive. And I got to hit the final blow because Elio and Dizzy had both died, but I was still there, and I killed the Ender Dragon. And then it felt like it was a beautiful circle, like a closing, a tie-up of everything that we did, like actually accomplishing the kill, the win. And then I remembered why we were there. And so I started crying. So if you want to hear me cry, you can go listen to that. But I mean, you hear me cry mostly when I read Warrior Cats anyways, so like... You're in the right spot anyways. He's gonna do like a call-in stream, and I'm like, man... I'm gonna be making the most awful noises. But I also feel like I want to, you know, like to like really dig in like what's happening for his viewers and my emotional turmoil. So that's kind of what we were doing this last week, which was nothing. I forgot to tell you guys. So those who were at the V-Gala Awards, I won the Most Wholesome Award, and then when Chai and Augusta won the Best Duo Award, I accidentally got stuck in the floor, and then I died, and then my whole computer crashed, and so I gave up and I never came back. But I ended up winning another award. There was another award afterwards that was like Best Interaction Award, and I genuinely did not think that I was gonna get any other award besides by the Wholesome one. I think I was the only one that actually won a second award. So that was kind of crazy. Kyle won the Best Actor award, which was very deserved. Yomi was like tied as like most chill reward, which is good because Mark also won the Best Hi Goombang Gamer. If you say hi 5 more times, you're out of here. Mark won Best Hero, which is deserved as well, which means everybody in the campfire crew won. Sadly, Mark didn't. I think Mark should have won the most chill award. I also voted for him for that, and he was part of the Rift Walkers, so I think that they just won in general. That's my opinion. Woo! So today is a Warrior Cat Wednesday. Hi! Hi, Luminosita! Lumi Red! Hi, Lumi! How are you? What were you? You were playing The Walking Dead. Oh my gosh, that reminds me of The Walking Dead. And that I need to play it again. Games that I need to revisit. Walking Dead. Rain World. Silver's getting very close to making me. Actually, he's not even. He's already convinced me to play it again. I feel. I don't know why, but I'm craving being a slug cat. Finishing episode 4 of season 3. I don't even think I finished season 1. I think I'm still on like the first when Clem's a baby Clem. Have you having a good stream, awesome model? Thank you. You should get it. I know. I loved it when I was doing it. I must have gotten distracted for some reason. But hello, everybody in the raid. Welcome in. My name is Nono Noelle. I'm the Grand Marshal of the Paprika Parade. Today we are reading Warrior Cats. So if you want a chill kind of stream to have on in the background while you do things, and this is a good stream for you. If you have no idea what Warrior Cats is, I think it's hilarious to go in a stream and not know anything about Warrior Cats and then listen to me and be like, what is going on? I think it's really funny. And yes, have fun. Have a good, wonderful rest of your day. Good work today. You worked hard. Deserve a break. Deserve some water. I'm getting Kyle. This is unrelated. I'm getting Kyle to get into Cookie Run franchise. There's a new Cookie Run game, by the way. I should talk about this when actually my regulars are here. Because you guys like Cookie Run. Remember when I used to stream Cookie Run? Good times. Good times. That was when I realized, actually I can still stream Cookie Run. I could do Kingdom. Because the way that I was streaming it was through Games PC. So I had linked everything through the Play Store on PC, and they have like Cookie Run Oven Break and Cookie Run Kingdom on there. So I could do it again. I think Oven Break would be better to do on stream because it's less like automatic. Actually, I have to play something. Okay, let me just set up my cookie crumble. Hi, Lemonade. How are you? I'm going to just keep it open, I guess. Let them fight to the death. Granted, I might be kind of like stuck right now. Dun dun dun. I've already found someone. That song is stuck in my head. Hi, Jake Fox! How are you? Feeling good today? Feeling crazy today? Feeling a little cuckoo. Come live with us in the palace. There's a room waiting for you. Come on, come on, come on. Hi, Joey. Welcome in. What's another thing that I wanted to do? I want to get... So I want the Rebo... Oh, I think I have to spend also some money and get like a full mask for my CPAP because I get this thing where like when the CPAP is on my face and I'm like sleeping sideways because it's a pillow one, the air comes through the sides and the sides is when I'm like, you know, like sleeping on the sides. It's supposed to be more comfortable. But because of that, it clogs the air. And if I move in a certain way, the air rushes out really fast. And then I choke on the air and I wake up, which is counterproductive. But if I have the full face mask, then it'll ideally not do that. Kind of funky. Feeling funky. Disco lights while I sit there feeling weird. That's a understandable, a relatable feeling too. Things I also have to do, you know, is I have to blink, 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 blink. I forgot what I have to do. I have to do something though. Something's gotta happen. Something's gotta happen. Oh yes. I want to do a rigging stream because I'm rigging a model that I actually like. I need to work on it and I want to stream also. I think upcoming, because I have a commission that's due for October 1st and I wanted to rig my Yu model that I got before that so that I have kind of like remembered how to rig again because I totally forgot how to. So I can do like that commission justice, but I don't have any time to do it right now because I'm like literally just either streaming or working now, or not working, or like resting, I guess. I don't have off time to do the rigging because the times that I could be rigging, I need to be streaming, otherwise I wouldn't be streaming anymore. So I have to rig on stream. That was a very real roundabout way of doing that. So we might have more co-work streams. Maybe I can find like a cool co-work app thing that you guys can help with. I know when I was doing it the first time, we had Rusty's retirement garden, I think it was, or something like that. Rusty's retirement, and you guys could like do biofuel and stuff like that. So maybe we can find something like that is a lot more Twitch chat integrated and less me integrated, so you guys can do like a lot of stuff on your own, or one of those games where if you use the code that I have on my screen, then you join my room kind of thing, and then we can be like working together. But that's like a little harder to do because you actually have to buy it. Usually there's not like free ones. Come live with us in the car that I'm waiting for. Come on, come on, come on. How's my day been going? My day's been pretty good. I was really sleepy. It's really, really smoky here, so despite the weather being like really pretty and warm and nice, I can't stay outside very long because I get sick smelling the smoke. It's bad for our lungs. Ooh, so I think I'll do a karaoke stream coming up. August something. In the middle of August, I'll finally do a karaoke stream. Because my roommate is going to visit her family, so that means that she's gonna be not in the house and I don't have to worry about interrupting her phone calls for work. I think that's most of the updates that I have. Rigging, more rigging streams, Rain World streams. I want the 3D RoboCap, so that stream. I have a big walk collab with the Campfire crew eventually, which is Tatsu, Juno, Leo, Mark, or Mark's VTuber name is Sarah, and Yomi. But that's gonna be very interesting because half of us are C and half of us are Americas, so it's like very wonky time zones, but we'll figure it out. I've also been invited to a Minecraft kind of murder mystery thing for Momo's birthday, but Momo hasn't gotten a date for that exactly yet, so we'll see how that goes. Today's my final week at my job, my old job. I have 3 more days, tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, and then I'm done forever. Hi! Hi, Alyssa and McKenna. And then we start cheese officially. I do need to... It looks as though most of my streams will be at like 6 o'clock or 6:30 PST now, so when I would usually end my streams, that's when my streams are gonna start starting. So that seems like how it's gonna be going. The updates. I still haven't written all my days on my phone calendar, so I have to sit down and do that, which is gonna take like 15 million years. Live with... Ow! Why are you saying ow? The heck? YouTube's like... Not YouTube. X has got a new reply system, it seems like. Very interesting. Okay. We are going to begin reading Warrior Cats now. You got a burst of pain and no idea why? Me? Did I say that? Oh, that was Alyssa. Alyssa said ow suddenly. Okay, so let's begin reading Warrior Cats. Some good Warrior Cats. We are on chapter 9. It seems like I just read this recently because technically it was only 2 streams ago. And also it was on a Thursday instead of a Wednesday. And I was thinking like maybe I would skip this week because I was feeling lazy, but I was like, no, I should do it. I should do it. I should do it. I should do it. So we're on chapter 9 of Vorikat's A Vision of Shadows, Thunder and Shadow. We previously, I guess, what happened last time? Hi, Maddie. Previously, all the apprentices are kind of rebelling against the warriors in Shadow Clan. They're kind of like getting up a coup, sort of, I think. Like they're talking back and they're like, maybe we should have less rules, like that kind of business. And I think it's to like get the rogues to come in and take over, and all the apprentices will go under their command, kind of thing. Hi, Ronnie. We had Needlepaw get kind of like, she got in trouble because she snuck out, and because of that, and then she talked back to the leader, so she was on elder duty, and because of that she set Violet Kit to go tell Rain that she couldn't meet up with them and schmooch or whatever they were doing. That ended up in them escorting her back home and interrupting the clan in the middle of their clan world, and they got really upset that rogues were there, and the rogues were like, what do you mean? We just came to return this kid. We're not playing a game today. We're reading today. So that seems to be kind of what was happening. Also, Alderpaw, they went to the moon cave. The moon cave? Is it the moon cave? The moon pool? The moon pool. They went to the moon pool and were wanting to talk to StarClan, obviously, but StarClan didn't give anybody any dreams. It was the first time that Jay Feather got to see Leafpool in a while. He was like, when are you coming home? And she was like, I don't know, a while still. He was like trying to be, he was like all soon, because he was like, I don't miss you, but the clan needs you or something. Hurry up. Get home. Kind of business. Kessler Pelt? Is that his name? He basically, the Wind Clan Medicine Cat had to be escorted to the moon pool this time because One Star is definitely on his last life, and he is very, 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 very paranoid. Everybody has to go out with a patrol, like with the watch. Like it's very like protective and sussy and weird. So that's what's going on. And because of that, everybody's really irritated. So I think that's pretty much all what kind of went down recently. Chapter 9. All right, let's begin. Let's begin meow meow time. Can you guys hear the nature? Okay, nature good. Chapter 9. Fluffing her fur out against the cold, Twigkit followed Alderpaw through the moonlit forest. They were going to meet Violet Kit and Needlepaw. It had been over half a moon since they'd met, and she longed to see her sister. She could tell Violet Kit how she'd heard their mother's voice and smelled her scent when she'd nearly drowned. Oh yeah, right, so Twigkit was also feeling like she had to prove herself to be special, otherwise ThunderClan wouldn't want her anymore. So she tried to go out and find a herb for Jay Feather, and she fell in the water, almost drowned. She heard her mom talk to her. Sparkpaw saved her. Yeah. Perhaps Violet Kit still remembered what their mother had smelt and sounded like. As Twig Kit followed Alderpaw up a leaf-strewn rise, she tried to ignore the shame worming in her belly. Do you think Bramblestar is still mad at me for falling in the lake? Alderpaw stopped beside a clump of frost-shriveled ferns. He wasn't mad at you. He was just worried. The other cats thinks I've got feathers in my brain. Twig Kit remembered the water pressing against her muzzle. She'd been so afraid. I wanted to prove to them I was special, but I just proved that I'm a mouse brain. Since she'd fell into the lake, Leaf Kit and Honey Kit had been teasing her constantly. Do you want to be a river clan cat? Perhaps she wants to be a fish. They teased her the same way they teased each other. They were not trying to be cruel at all, but it had still hurt. Alderpaw leaped onto a log, which was blocking the path, and waited for Twig Kit to scramble up beside him. Jay Feather fell in the lake when he was a kit, too, he told her. She blinked up at him, surprised. Really? Alderpaw purred. He left camp just like you, trying to prove he was special. But he was special. He was one of the three. Hope fluttered in Twig Kit's chest like a moth. And you were special, too. Alderpaw's words warmed her. She couldn't wait to tell Leaf Kit and Honey Kit that she was just like Jay Feather. She knew from nursery tales that Jay Feather had helped save the clans from the Dark Forest cats. She swallowed. Will I have to do that? An owl shrieked far away. Twig Kit moved closer to Alderpaw, suddenly aware of how huge the forest seemed at night and how deep the shadows were. She peered into them. Do you think the Dark Forest cats will ever come back? She asked Alderpaw. His eyes widened in surprise. What makes you say that? If I'm special like Jay Feather, maybe I'm supposed to fight them too. Alderpaw whisked his tail. The Dark Forest cats wouldn't dare return here. He leaped from the log and trotted along the trail between brambles. Twig Kit hurried after him. Did your prophecy say what I'm supposed to do? No. Alderpaw kept his gaze ahead. It just said that we must find what was in the shadows, and it would help clear the sky. Twig Kit frowned thoughtfully. You think I'm supposed to make the sun shine? Alderpaw purred. Even StarClan can't do that. But they can make clouds cover most of the moon if the clans are arguing during a gathering. Twig Kit wondered suddenly how powerful StarClan really was. If they could make clouds cover the moon, why did they need forest cats to help with their prophecies? Hurry up! Alderpaw quickened his pace. He seemed as excited as Twig Kit about the meeting. We're nearly there. As they neared the ShadowClan border, he broke into a run. Twig Kit hurried after him, the cold air burning her lungs. She caught up as he reached the clearing where they'd met the two ShadowClan cats last time. Alderpaw was skirting the edge, sniffing the tree roots hopefully. Can you smell them? Twig Kit scanned the shadows, hoping to see Violet Kit's splotchy white fur glowing in the moonlight. Are you sure we're meant to meet them here? That's what Needlepaw said when I saw her at the border the other day. Alderpaw leaned forward. Twig Kit glanced through the brambles. The moon was high. Why weren't they here? Worry prickled through her pelt. Perhaps an owl caught them. Needlepaw could chase off an owl. Alderpaw was still straining to see across the border. What about a fox? Twig Kit began to pace. Maybe the rogues attacked the ShadowClan camp. What if Violet Kit's been hurt? Hi, Foogie. How are you? It's more likely that they couldn't sneak out of camp without being noticed, Alderpaw reasoned, but I'm sure nothing bad has happened. What if you're wrong? Twig Kit's heart quickened. Surely her sister would find a way to meet her. As fear made her thoughts spin, paw steps sounded beyond the border. Her heart leaped. Violet Kit? Who's that? A gruff mew sounded beyond the brambles, crowding the scent line. Alarmed, Twig Kit hurried to Alderpaw's side and pressed against him. It's just me, he called. Alderpaw. Twig Kit could feel his spurs, his fur spiking anxiously. A ShadowClan warrior padded from behind the brambles. It was a broad-shouldered tabby tom. A gray tabby she-cat and a white tom followed him. Hi, Tigerheart. Alderpaw dipped his head to the tom. Cloverfoot? Rippletail? Twigkit tasted the air. She hadn't met these Shadow Clan warriors before. Elderpaw must know them from the gatherings. Tigerheart was scanning the shadows behind them. Is Dovewing with you? No. Elderpaw sounded surprised at this question. Tigerheart shrugged. Was that disappointment in his gaze? What are you doing here? Gathering herbs, Elderpaw answered a little too quickly. At night? Rippletail padded into the clearing, ears twitching. Some herbs are best gathered after dusk, Elderpaw told him. Rippletail looked at Twigkit. Does ThunderClan often send kits out of camp to help medicine cats with their duties? Cloverfoot padded around them. Isn't that a bit dangerous? She was worried about her littermate. Elderpaw told the tabby she-cat. I said I could come in case we bumped into a Shadow Clan patrol. Twigkit was impressed by his story. She almost believed it herself. We're lucky to have met you, Elderpaw went on. Is Violet Kit okay? Of course. Tigerheart pushed between his clanmates. Why shouldn't she be? Twigkit lifted her chin. I was worried the rogues might hurt her. Tigerheart flexed his claws. She has Shadow Clan to protect her. Besides, Rippletail added, rogues are no threat. Elderpaw stared at the young warrior. They killed Fur's Pelt. Rippletail huffed. WindClan started the fight. Elderpaw stared at the Shadow Clan Tom, surprise showing in his face. Twigkit edged forward. You'll protect her though, won't you? Didn't Shadow Clan realize how dangerous the rogues were? Of course we will, Tigerheart growled. It'd be easier if she didn't keep sneaking out of camp with Needlepaw. Elderpaw blinked. She's been sneaking out of camp? Twigkit frowned, confused. She hadn't seen her sister for over half a moon. Where had Violet Kit been going? Tawnypelt caught them the other night, Tigerheart told Elderpaw. Rowan Stars put Needlepaw on elder duty and told Pine Nose not to take her eyes off Violet Kit for a moment. Twigkit felt a flicker of relief. At least she knew why her sister hadn't come to the meeting. But then her heart sank. That meant that she wouldn't see her littermate tonight after all. She realized with a jolt that Tigerheart was staring at her. Why can't you and Violet Kit stay in camp like normal kits? He asked bluntly. Clan kits are asleep in their nests by moon high. Twigkit whipped her tail indignantly. We're special, she told him. Tigerheart snorted. Let's wait and see about that. He turned, nodding to his patrol. Then he leaned towards Elderpaw. I hope you find the herbs you're looking for, but I think you should get Twigkit home. It's going to be a cold night, and her pelt is still only kit fluff. Elderpaw dipped his head. I will, he promised. She'll sleep well now that she knows her sister is safe. He glanced at Twigkit as Tigerheart led his clanmates back into Shadow Clan territory and disappeared into the darkness. That was close, Elderpaw whispered. It's probably a good thing Needlepaw and Violet Kit couldn't come. We'd have been in trouble if the patrol had found us together. Twigkit gazed at him sadly. I guess. How long would it be before she got another chance to see Violet Kit? Elderpaw must have seen the sadness in her gaze. He touched his muzzle to her head. Let's go home. I'll speak to Needlepaw as soon as I can and arrange another meeting. What if Violet Kit can never get away? Twigkit followed Elderpaw as he headed back along the trail. I'm sure she will, Elderpaw promised. Perhaps it would be better if no one thought we were special, Twigkit sighed. Then we could have stayed together. She stopped, a sudden thought piercing her like a thorn. What if we're not special? Rollinstar would have taken her away for nothing. Elderpaw turned, his eyes around with sympathy. Of course you're special, he reassured her. Twigkit lashed her tail determinedly. I'm gonna be, otherwise there's no point. I'm gonna grow up big and strong and be important just like you. Elderpaw's whiskers twitched. I'm not very important. But you will be, Twigkit insisted. Once you're a medicine cat like Jayfeather. She puffed out her chest. I'm gonna be a medicine cat too. I know about herbs already, and I know I'll be good at it. And I won't be a grumpy medicine cat like Jayfeather. I'll be a nice one like you and Leafpool. Elderpaw's gaze glistened fondly. I'm touched you want to be like me I'm touched that you want to be like me, but you're young. Don't decide on your future yet. Your paws will walk wherever they must go. You may. We got interrupted by a yawn. And you may change your mind about becoming a medicine cat. But I want to be important, Twig Kid insisted. You will be. Elderpaw draped his tail over her spine and guided her forward. But there are other ways to be important in a clan. Look at Bramblestar and Squirrelflight, or Graystripe and Millie. All cats find their own place in the clan. One day, you'll find yours. Twigkit patted closer, her pelt brushing his. Do you really think so? Elderpaw wrapped his tail tighter around her. I'm certain. She's so cute. They couldn't be more obvious. What is he doing? He's on a patrol with his clanmates and he's like, just doveling with you by chance. And he like doesn't even hide it. They probably all know by now. It's not even like nobody cares because all the apprentices are rebelling, so they're just like, all right, well, Tigerheart's in love with doveling, obviously. A well-kept secret, maybe? A well-kept shared secret? Chapter 10. Crouching miserably beside the nursery, Violet stared across the camp. Clouds covered the sky and a damp wind rattled the brambles. She shivered. Beside her, Pine Nose swallowed the last morsel of mouse and sat up. I'm going inside. Bad weather's coming. She glanced at Violet. You'd better come with me. Violet's heart sank. Can I just finish this? She pawed her half-eaten shrew closer. She wasn't hungry, but she wanted to stay outside a while longer. Being stuck in camp was boring, but being inside the nursery was worse, especially when Grassheart's kits were asleep and she wasn't allowed to make a sound. Okay, Pine Nose agreed, but don't be long. As the queen disappeared into the bramble den, Violet pretended to take another mouthful of shrew. Since the rogues had brought her back, Pine Nose had watched her like a hawk. Violet felt a prickle of resentment towards Darktail. Why had he marched right into camp? She knew the clan blamed her for leading enemies into their home. The older warriors eyed her as if she were a traitor. But weirdly, the younger warriors and apprentices had begun to greet her as they passed, interest glittering in their gaze as though they had just noticed she existed. Yarrowpaw had even stopped and asked what the rogues were like, but Pine Nose had shooed the apprentice away. How would Violet know? The queen had snapped. They just found her in the woods. They didn't make friends with her. As her thoughts wandered, Violet gazed across the clearing. Leafpool and Puddlepaw were rolling herbs into bundles outside the medicine den. Crowfrost was sharing a thrush with Dawnpelt. Berryheart and Rippletail lounged outside the warrior's den, half asleep as the wind rippled their fur. Tawnypelt, Tigerheart, and Spikefur sheltered from the wind out beside the great stone, while Rowan Star sat outside his den, watching the camp through half-closed eyes. Violet looked towards the Elder's den. Was Needlepaw there? She hadn't seen her friend all morning. Perhaps Kinkfur had sent her to fetch fresh break-in for her bedding again. Loneliness gnawed at Violet's belly. She looked hopefully towards Yarrowpaw and Beepaw. They were practicing battle moves at the edge of the clearing while Sleekpaws lay in the long grass and watched. Perhaps they would teach her how to fight. That had to be more interesting than sitting in the nursery with Pine Nose. She tried to catch their eye, but they didn't notice her. She blinked at Juniperpaw. The Black Tom was trotting towards the entrance after his mentor, Stonewing. He didn't look her way. Perhaps Strikepaw would speak to her. But the Tabby Tom was nodding unenthusiastically as Wisptail demonstrated a hunting stance in the clearing. He yawned wearily as Wisptail crouched close to the ground. Suddenly a hiss sounded beside the entrance. Violet jerked her head towards the bramble tunnel. Stonewing stood, back-arched, his pelt spiked. Strikepaw crouched beside him, growling. Their gaze was fixed on a Tom padding into camp. Rain. Violet recognized the gray Tom at once. She got to her paws, her pelt rippling nervously along her spine. What was he doing here? A plump pigeon hung from his jaws. Behind him, Raven and Flame squeezed the tunnel. They each carried prey. Violet smelled the warm fragrance of blood. Crowfrost lifted his head sharply, baring his teeth as he saw the rogues. He hurried across the clearing to meet them. "What are you doing here?" His ears were flat as he stopped in front of Rain. Leafpool poked her head from the medicine den, her eyes rounding with surprise. Rowan Star bounded from his den and skidded to a halt beside his deputy. "I told you to leave our territory," he told the rogues. Rain laid the pigeon in front of the ShadowClan leader. "We brought these offerings." He dipped his head as Flame placed a young rabbit beside the pigeon, and Raven dropped the fat thrush on top. It was fine prey. Crowfrost stared at the heap wearily. Rowan Star flexed his claws. "We want to join your clan," Rain meowed before either cat could speak. "Join ShadowClan?" Rowan Star stared at the rogue, eyes widening. Tawny Pelt, Tigerheart, and Spikefur padded from the shelter of the great stone. Leafpool moved closer to Puddlepaw. The other apprentices lined up at the edge of the clearing, their eyes sparkling with interest. Needlepaw! Valakut suddenly realized that her friend was among her den mates. She blinked. Where had she been? Rain crouched submissively in front of Rowan Star and gazed hopefully at the clan leader. Rowan Star glared at him. "Do you think you can bribe your way in with prey you caught on our land?" Crowfrost hissed. "No cat hunts in ShadowClan territory except ShadowClan." Rain crouched lower. "I'm sorry. Forgive us. We didn't realize." Oh, sorry. I read the second sentence. "I'm sorry. We didn't realize." He glanced at his campmates, who both dipped their heads humbly. "Forgive us," he went on. "If we have offended you, we will leave." As he turned, Rowan Star leaned forward. "Wait." Rain faced the leader. A faint glow lightened his eyes. "Where in our territory did you find such good prey?" Curiosity softened Rowan Star's mew. "We're lucky when it comes to hunting," Rain told him. "Perhaps we can bring some of that luck to your clan." "No." Crowfrost stepped forward, his black and white pelt bristling. "Take your prey and leave." He glared at Rowan Star. "We can't accept prey from cats who attacked another clan." "Why not?" Needlepaw demanded. Valakut stiffened as her friend padded forward. "Is WindClan our friend now?" Needlepaw looked around her clanmates. "I thought ShadowClan stood alone. The only truce we recognize is the Truce of the Gathering. Why deny ourselves prey on WindClan's behalf?" Sleekpaw and Strikepaw were nodding. So was Berryheart. The young black and white she-cat lashed her tail. "Would WindClan do the same for us?" Sleekpaw joined Needlepaw. "WindClan has never brought us prey, nor has ThunderClan or RiverClan, but we're supposed to feel loyal to them? Why?" Valakut frowned. If the clans weren't meant to stick together, did that make Twigkit her enemy? Anxiety prickled her fur. "Warriors, clan of the cats, yes." "Why?" Rowan Star repeated Sleekpaw's question, his eyes widening with surprise. "Because they're clan-born like us. They follow the warrior code." "These are rogues." Crowfrost puffed out his chest. "They have no code." "We could learn." Rain mewed softly. Rowan Star stared at him. "Why should we believe you?" Rain glanced around the camp. "We see how you live," he meowed. "How you thrive. We want to be like you." Tigerheart marched forward, his eyes glittering with outrage. "Then go and start your own clan on your own land." Rowan Star drew himself up. "I've had you escorted from our land before. Today you will be escorted again." He nodded sharply to Tigerheart, Spikefur, and Tawny Pelt. "Next time we find you on ShadowClan territory, you will feel the sharpness of our claws." The rogues glanced at one another. Valakut searched their gazes for some sign of fear, but they only showed calm acceptance. Rain blinked at Rowan Star. We will respect your wishes." Rowan Star stiffened. "You have no choice." Rain flashed him an amused look before turning away and letting Tawny Pelt lead the way out of camp. Valakut swallowed. She realized that her heart was beating hard. Needlepaw had taken a risk speaking out for the rogues. Why had she done it? Wasn't her clan more important than her new rogue friends? As the patrol disappeared through the bramble tunnel, Needlepaw crossed the clearing. Valakut's breath caught in her throat as Needlepaw stopped in front of Rowan Star. She kicked the prey towards him. "What are you going to do with this?" she snarled. Throw it out with the rogues?" Rowan Star's eyes widened with shock. Shadow Clan catches its own prey. We'd catch more if we'd had clanmates like them. Needlepaw flicked her tail towards the entrance. Why didn't you let them join? Dawnpelt patted from the edge of the clearing. They're not clan-born. Neither is Violet Kit, Needlepaw retorted. But you let her join. And what did she offer the clan but another mouth to feed? Violet Kit's heart lurched. Was that truly what Needlepaw believed? I thought you were my friend. That's cool. XQ9JKL10. Tigerheart looked at the silver apprentice. You're the one who brought her back from Alderpaw's quest, he pointed out. You made such a big deal about her being part of the prophecy that Rowenstar had to take her. Dawnpelt flicked her tail. She is part of the prophecy. One day Violet Kit may clear the skies. You don't even know what that means. Needlepaw's pelt bristled along her spine. You turned away 3 strong hunters. Why? Tawnypelt patted forward, her stern gaze raking Needlepaw. That's enough, she snapped. It's not enough. Strikepaw marched forward and stopped beside Needlepaw. We have a chance to make Shadow Clan powerful again. Yarrowpaw whisked her tail. Aren't you tired of agreeing with everything ThunderClan suggests? Don't you wish we could hunt where we please instead of where the other clans tell us we can hunt? Rowenstar flexed his claws. Do you want war with the other clans? Spikepaw flattened his ears. We want to choose our own path, not follow the path of other clans. What you want doesn't matter, Rowenstar hissed. I am Shadow Clan's leader. I decide what's best. Taking in strange cats who have proven they are dangerous is not good for any clan. Not for weak clans like Wind Clan or River Clan, Strikepaw snarled. But we are Shadow Clan. With cats like those, we could rule the whole lake. You are young and foolish. Rowenstar struggled to calm his mew. You don't understand the pain and loss that battle brings. I've been too soft with you. His gaze flicked around the other apprentices. With all of you. I've let small rules be broken. He caught Juniper Paw's eye. Don't think I can't smell the prey blood on your breath when you return from hunting. What you catch is for the fresh kill pile, not your own belly. He lifted his chin, yowling across the camp. From now on, the warrior code will be followed. StarClan is watching us. Respect for our ancestors will guide our paws. Violet watched Needlepaw, wishing she'd drop her gaze and back away. Instead, the silver she-cat glared at the Shadow Clan leader. You want us to obey a bunch of dead cats? She nodded towards the pines looming over the camp. Look at the living world. It has everything we need. We can push our territory as far as we like and take whatever we want. Who cares what StarClan thinks? Their lives are over. It's our turn to live. Behind her, Bee-Paw, Juniper Paw, and Sleekpaw yowled in agreement. Dawnpelt and Crowfrost stared at them in horror, as though they couldn't believe that their own kits would turn on their clan. Rowenstar met Needlepaw's gaze coolly. You can live according to our rules. Never. Needlepaw lashed her tail. I'm sick of living in a clan that only cares about peace. The rogues will have made us strong, but if you don't want them to join us, I'm gonna join them. Violet Kit flinched. What? Around her, Pelt spiked. Traitor! Crowfrost glared at Needlepaw. Tawnypelt seemed frozen with shock. Have you gone crazy? Her mew faltered as she spoke. Stonewing and Ratscar flattened their ears. Snowbird and Dawnpelt exchanged looks, their eyes wide. Violet Kit swallowed back alarm. Surely Needlepaw didn't mean it. She watched in disbelief as Needlepaw marched towards the entrance. I'm going with her, Juniper Paw growled. Nobody's gonna tell me what prey I can eat ever again. I'm going too. Sleekpaw turned and patted after Needlepaw. Jesus Christ. As murmurs of disbelief rippled around the clan, Rowenstar stared at the apprentices, astonishment flashing in his wide amber gaze. If you leave the clan, you become our enemy. Violet stared as Needlepaw patted past her. Don't go! Her heart twisted with grief. Needlepaw was her only friend in the clan, and yet she'd said that Violet Kit was just another mouth to feed. Was I wrong to trust her? Needlepaw paused and met Violet Kit's gaze. You're coming with me. I am? Shock flashed through Violet Kit. She felt limp with relief. She is my friend. You're not staying here with these kitty pets. Needlepaw whisked Violet Kit forward with her tail. She glanced back at Rowan Star. I'm taking the kit because I found her. You can't! Leafpool hurried forward. She belongs to the clans. StarClan needs her to be here. I found her, Needlepaw repeated. If she's special, she can be special anywhere. Rowan Star flicked his tail angrily. Take her, he called to Needlepaw. You did ShadowClan no favors by finding her. There's been nothing but trouble since she arrived. We're better off without her. And without you. Violet Kit felt numb. She stumbled after Needlepaw, Sleek Paw, and Juniper Paw flanking her. Her thoughts whirled. Was it true? Had she brought only trouble to ShadowClan? Overwhelmed, she followed Needlepaw through the entrance tunnel. As it closed around her, she glanced back and saw the familiar dens. She was leaving another home. Was she making the right choice? Her eye caught Rowan Star's. His gaze was as hard as ice. It's not a choice. Despair washed through her pelt. I'm not wanted here. I never truly was. Aww. Needlepaw! I think Needlepaw is being manipulated and groomed, but she is also manipulating more cats in turn. You know what I mean? Like, she's still doing bad, but it's because she's been being bad, I think. It's 2 a.m. and I'm on Twitch because I don't have a life and I can't sleep. Go to bed! Yes, I agree. Yeah. Okay, 1 second, guys. I'm gonna go get a Mr. Noodles and eat it raw. I'm back. I got Mr. Noodles. Now you guys get to hear me crush it. Ready? Crushed noodles. Crushed noodle soup. Oh man, I opened it too long again. Crunch. I'm spilling salt everywhere. But that's alright, I don't care. Ow. It's so good, guys. I love raw ramen. Okay. Chapter 11. Making pretty good progress today. I'm impressed with us. You did hear ramen. I mean, it's Mr. Noodles, so maybe it's not ramen, but... Mr. Noodles. All right. Chapter 10. Overhead, the full moon. Wait. Ad break in 1 minute. Should I wait for the ad break to be done? Probably, right? Let's see what's happening over here. It's so hot in my room. Oh my god. Ad break starting. 180 seconds. That's how long I have to wait for my mic thing to go. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you like sitting on the shelf. I'm pulling for gotcha. Some little gotchas. I'm getting nothing from the gotcha. That's so sad. A, B, C. Easy as 1, 2, 3. So for my everybody who's not stuck behind ads, what do you think I should? What are some classic punk pop songs of the I don't think of the 2000s that I should sing for my karaoke? Keep in mind that I'll be singing it like Jackass Juliet, are you with me? You know, like that. Definitely Panic in the Disco, but like which songs do you think? What a beautiful wedding. I guess there's also the Am I more than you bargained for yet? I've been trying to wait, how does that sound? I've been trying to tell you. Camisado. I don't know that song off. Camisado. Listening. I don't think I've ever heard this song before. That's crazy. Maybe not that crazy. My more than you bargained for yet. I'm lying down with it. You wanna hear? But that's just who I am this week. Next to the mausoleum. Da 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 da. Drop a heart, break a name. Always a man and a shaman on the wrong team. All Time Low? I was into All Time Low. I was into like most of the Dear Maria, count me in. Yes. Dear Maria, good. And what's that one song where it's like it's like da na 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 da like everybody. Oh, I don't wanna be in love. I don't wanna be in love. Da na na da. Like put your hands up or something like that. Follow you into the dark. Yes. Let's see. Good Charlotte. Dance floor anthem lyrics. You guys know this one? Everybody, put your hands up. Say, I don't wanna be in love. I don't wanna be in love. Feel the beat now. If you've got nothing left, say, I don't wanna be in love. I don't wanna be in love. I love that song. I'll definitely have to do checklist. Check. Yes, Juliet. I should write these down. Google Doc. Blank document. Songs for emo carry. My Chemical Romance. Yeah. Hey, wait. We need Dear Maria. Check. Yes, Juliet. Good Charlotte. Follow you into the dark. Sins. I write sins. What other songs did My Chemical Romance do? I'll do. What's the I'm more than you bargain for you? Sugar, you're going down swinging. Oh, I'm going. What's the other song where it's like I woke up on my front lawn? Oh, it's a dance floor anthem. Good Charlotte, not Good Charlotte. There's always Bryce side. Classic. I missed your bright side. There's Iris. I need more clues. I don't have enough clues to give. No, but that's so true. It was a song in. Oh, wait, it's coming to me. where he's like, it has a weird chorus where the sentence doesn't make much sense. Like, I don't want. It's like nobody likes me, or I'm too grown up, like I'm grown up. Oh my god, what is it? Why did I wake up on my lawn lyrics? Punk rock. My gosh, what is it? This is gonna kill me. It was in Guitar Hero. It's either like a 90s song or like a really early 2000 song. Yes! Yes! My own worst enemy! Oh my god! Oh my god, Ben, you're the best. Classic. Good stuff. I want to do Who I Am Hates Who I Am Hates Who I've Been by Reliant K. I might do Vindicated because I just like singing that song. Vindicated. I am selfish. I am wrong. And then there's Tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again. Don't let me change my mind, 'cause I won't live to see another day. I swear it's true. We got a lot of good music. Maybe I can like organize it to like Follow You Into the Dark, Fall for You, Iris, kind of like play. Hi, Cheeto Puff! Gay Cheeto Puff. Everybody. Am I a mouse? No, I'm a tiger. What's a Falling in Reverse song that I would know? My earsies? They kind of look like mouse ears. They're a little too fluffy to be mouse ears. Falling in Reverse song. Watch the World Burn. Game Over. I don't think I know them. Formed in 2008. That was like past my prime. Thank you! I get a lot of raccoon and bear. My prime. Yeah, my prime. Not by much. I don't remember how old I was. It was the days of our lives. Are you saying you peaked in 2008? No. I probably peaked when I was like 5. The ADHD bugs are whispering in my ear to start 3D project when the first 2 aren't done. So real. I think you should go for it. Start a 3rd one. If you don't start the 3rd one, you're not going to get the motivation to go back to your other ones. You think you're going to peak when you're 30? That's a good goal to reach. But when you're 30, you should just move it to like 40. You know, like just keep pushing it. No, your hand hurts? That's sad. Rest your hand. That's important. Don't push yourself. Alright, let's read chapter 11. Time to resume our Warrior Cat readings. Overhead, the full moon lit a crow-black sky. In the chilly island clearing, Alderpaw fidgeted beside Jayfeather. Can't you sit still? Jayfeather grunted. It was the gathering. Cats milled in the clearing in front of them, their pelts shining in the moonlight. Bramblestar padded between them, greeting old allies. One Star was already sitting in the great oak, staring at the clan cats through narrowed eyes.
My ears itch.
Your ears itch? Then itch them. Itch them. With one of those, like, ear tools. Misty Star chatted with the deputies lined up at the foot of the tree. She purred as Squirrelflight nodded towards a group of apprentices, happily showing off battle moves to one another at the edge of the clearing. Alderpaw wished he were with them, sharing clan gossip. Did he have to sit here being solemn and serious while Kesslerflight, Mothwing, and Willowshine? Just because he was a medicine cat apprentice? If he was gonna be an apprentice longer than any cat, couldn't he at least have fun? He glanced at Sparkpelt. It was her first gathering as a warrior, and she sat beside Cherryfall, her chest puffed out proudly. Her green eyes sparkled as she gazed at the other cats. Bramblestar padded to her side and touched his muzzle fondly to her head. Alderpaw ignored the prickle of envy in his pelt. He was proud of Sparkpelt, too. Your ears itch, but also thank you! This is your 35th resub. Crazy. Craziness. He glanced at the long grass at the edge of the clearing, tasting for the air of ShadowClan scent. They were late. He leaned forward eagerly. Would Needlepaw come? If she was still being punished for letting Violet Kit leave the camp, she might not be allowed to attend the gatherings this time. His tail flicked anxiously. He'd promised to take news home to Twigkit about Violet Kit. If he couldn't ask Needlepaw, perhaps Sleekpaw would tell him. Alderpaw stiffened as Mintfur jerked his gaze towards the edge of the clearing. Alderpaw pricked his ears as the river clown Tom's nose twitched. Paws scrabbled over the tree bridge. Beyond the stretch of grass, pebbles crack. The ShadowClan cats were coming. Out of the cats in the clearing turned their heads, one by one. As the grass rustled and ShadowClan padded out, Alderpaw frowned. They looked battle-worn. Rowan Star had a cut above his eye. Crowfrost's pelt showed signs of scratches. Wasptail was limping. What had they been fighting? He looked for Needlepaw, his heart sinking when he saw she wasn't with them. Sleekpaw wasn't there either. Perhaps Yarrowpaw or Strikepaw would be able to tell him about Violet Kit. Leafpaw! The medicine cat slid from the long grass. Of course, he could ask her! Alderpaw hurried to meet her as she headed for the group of medicine cats. As he neared, he saw that her eyes were dark with worry. Puddlepaw padded behind her, tail down. Has something happened? He asked as he reached them. Leafpool lowered her gaze and padded past him. Rowenstar will share the news. Is Violet Kid okay? Anxiety flashed through Alderpaw's fur. She was well the last time I saw her. Leafpool sat beside Mothwing. She glanced at Alderpaw, then looked away. The last time she saw her? Alderpaw stared at her, confused. What do you mean? Jayfeather shooed him back to his place with a flick of his tail. Sit down and be quiet, he ordered. It's not Leafpool's duty to share ShadowClan's news. His blind gaze flashed towards the gathered cats. As the ShadowClan warriors and apprentices slid among them, Rowenstar strode to the great oak and climbed onto the branch beside One Star. One Star shot him in a hostile glance and shifted away. Bramblestar left Sparkpelt and hurried to the oak as Misty Star heaved herself stiffly up the trunk and took her place beside Rowenstar. The murmuring of the cats quieted as Bramblestar sat down and gazed towards them. We have good weather, he observed, his gaze flickering towards the wide, starry sky. StarClan has blessed us. Rowenstar grunted dismissively. ThunderClan cats always think they are blessed, even when they are half-starved and leaf-bare. It is not leaf-bare yet, Misty Star reminded them. We must be glad that Prey is still running and the snows are not here yet. Prey's always running in RiverClan, One Star sneered. Or should I say swimming? Not if the river freezes, Misty Star corrected him. Alderpaw whisked his tail over the ground. Why were the leaders so prickly tonight? Rowenstar stood and raised his tail. ShadowClan has 2 new warriors, he announced. Strikestone and Yarrowleaf. Strikestone, Yarrowleaf! The clans cheered the names of the ShadowClan's new warriors. Their voices rang through the brittle night air. Misty Star raised her voice over them. RiverClan has new warriors too. Shadepelt and Foxnose. Bramblestar called out, and Sparkpaw is now Sparkpelt. Shadenose, Foxnose, Sparkpelt! Sparkpelt glanced around the cheering cats, her pelt fluffed with excitement. Sparkpelt! Alderpaw raised his voice, making sure she could hear him celebrating her warrior name. She caught his eye, her green gaze lighting up with happiness. Pride swelled in his chest, and he called her name louder. Beside him, Jayfeather remained silent. Alderpaw nudged him. Even medicine cats are allowed to cheer, he hissed in his mentor's ear. Jayfeather grunted. Why should I cheer? More warriors means more wounds and more work for me. Alderpaw glanced at Leafpool, expecting her to chide Jayfeather for being so gloomy, but Leafpool was chanting, her expression blank as though her thoughts were elsewhere. His cheer died in his throat as he gazed across the cheering cats. Shouldn't Sleekpaw be receiving her warrior name? And Juniperpaw? They were Strikestone's littermates. Had they failed their assessments? He scanned the crowd, looking for them, but there was no sign of the 2 apprentices. Alderpaw shifted uneasily and looked towards Rowenstar as the clans fell silent. Rowenstar gazed out gravely at the clans. The rogues that attacked One Star's patrol are living on the edge of our territory, near our border with ThunderClan. Shocked murmurs rippled through the gathered cats. Why didn't you chase them off? Breakinfur called. Breezepelt showed his teeth. They're murderers! Crowfeather lifted his muzzle. We should just join forces and drive them away. Rowenstar spoke over them. They asked to join ShadowClan. They came with gifts of prey, but I turned them away. How dare they? Oakclaw lashed his tail. Sparkpelt flattened her ears. They could never be clan cats. I turned them away! Rowenstar repeated, the fur prickling along his spine. I darn! His glare silenced the angry cats, but some of our apprentices have chosen to join them. Alderpaw braced himself for louder cries, but the clan stared at the ShadowClan leader in shocked silence as Rowenstar went on. They took Violet Kit with them. Misty Star jerked her muzzle towards him. The kit from the prophecy? Rowenstar nodded. Bramblestar flattened his ears. You let them take her? Rowenstar scowled. You were wrong about the prophecy, Bramblestar. Violet Kit is just an ordinary kit. Twig Kid is probably ordinary too, and Needlepaw found her. Why shouldn't she take her? Why shouldn't she take her? Elderpaw froze. Had Needlepaw left to join the rogues? His mouth grew dry. Surely not. Needlepaw liked to break rules, but she'd never betray her clan. Ramblestar was growling, his angry gaze fixed on Rowenstar. You let a vulnerable kit be taken away to join a group of rogues? What were you thinking? Should have known Violet Kit would have never been safe in ShadowClan. If you didn't believe she was part of the prophecy, why did you take her in the first place? We could have kept her. We have to get her back, Mothwing called. How will we clear the sky with her gone? Mintfur yowled. Squirrelflight flicked her tail angrily. Let the sky take care of itself for now. A kit has been taken from her clan. We must rescue her. The clearing rang with mews of agreement, but Elderpaw hardly heard them. What will I tell Twig Kit? He'd brought Violet Kit to the clans, and now she was in the paws of vicious rogues. Guilt scorched his pelt. Twig Kit will never forgive me. She'll be heartbroken. Elderpaw swallowed back panic. We'll get her back. We have to. I'll tell Twig Kit that everything will be okay. He hoped it was true. Fur brushed his flank as Leafpool slid in beside him. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you, she murmured. It was Rowenstar's news to share, but I'm sure Needlepaw will look after her. She is very fond of Violet Kit. Whatever happens, Needlepaw will protect her. Elderpaw met her gaze, trembling. But Needlepaw's only an apprentice. What can she do against a gang of rogues? His heart lurched as Leafpool stared back at... What the... Why did I get a sound of something not going right? Huh? Where did it come from? Nothing popped up. Ah? What? Weird. Alright. Bell? Oh, wait, I saw it. Where is it? Unable to refresh your YouTube authorization token. Oh, okay. My YouTube authorization token is not it. So am I not live on YouTube right now? Broadcaster account. Sign in with Google. Why would it just do that in the middle of stream, though? Crazy. Okay. Back working. It's working again. Maybe it was just like the bot. So the bot wouldn't work? His heart lurched as Leafpool stared back at him wordlessly. He wanted her to reassure him. Bramblestar's yowl cut through the anxious chattering of the gathered cats. What are you going to do about this, Rowenstar? He glared at the ShadowClan leader. Rowenstar's tail twitched. We attacked them last night, he reported. We hoped that when they saw us fighting for them, our apprentices would come back to us. Elderpaw's heart lurched as he saw panic in the Ginger Tom's gaze. He'd never seen a leader frightened before. Oh, man. But they didn't. Rowenstar's mew was trembling. In fact, one more apprentice and 2 of our warriors joined them and fought against us. Oh my god. Who? One Star demanded. The WindClan leader was bristling with rage. Beepaw, Berryheart, and Cloverfoot. Rowenstar stared at his paws. One Star thrust his muzzle close to the ShadowClan leader. How dare you call yourself a leader? You can't even control your own clan. They'll come back. Rowenstar's mew was thick with emotion. They're young and wrong-headed. But they'll realize their mistake and come back. Perhaps you're right. Bramblestar's mew softened. Elderpaw saw pity in his father's eyes as he gazed at the broken ShadowClan leader. One Star showed his teeth. Meanwhile, we have rogues on the edge of clan territory. If they steal clanmates, you can be sure they'll steal prey. Misty Star glared at the WindClan leader. They're as far from your borders as they can be. There's no need for you to worry about your precious rabbits. One Star hissed at her contemptuously. or you to defend your fish. This affects us all, Bramblestar yowled. They have Violet Kit, and she is part of the prophecy. So you say, Rowenstar muttered, unconvinced. Thank you, Flower Beauty. I like them too. Misty Star ignored the ShadowClan leader and faced Bramblestar. We can't risk trying to rescue her. She's a kid. They could easily kill her if we attack their camp. Then we must wait, Bramblestar decided. One Star's hackles lifted. We're gonna do nothing? He stared at Bramblestar in disbelief. These cats killed my clanmate! And took one of your lives, Elderpaw thought darkly, and drove SkyClan from the gorge. He couldn't help feeling that One Star was right to want to do more to fight the rogues. We should attack now and drive them as far away from the lake as we can, One Star went on. Lone Star's eyes rounded with fear. I don't want to fight my clanmates, even if they've made a terrible decision. They still might change their minds and return to the clan. I understand. Bramblestar met Rowan Star's gaze sympathetically. And we mustn't risk Violet Kit's life being attacked. By attacking, One Star growled, his eyes flashing in the moonlight. Then we have no more to say. He leaped from the great oak and stalked across the clearing, signaling to his clanmates with an angry flick of his tail. Hairspring hurried away from the other deputies and fell in beside his leader. Their clanmates quickly followed, pushing their way through the gathering cats. Moonlight glittered on their pelts as they headed into the long grass and disappeared. Elderpaw looked at Bramblestar. What now? The meeting's over, the ThunderClan leader called, jumping down from the tree. Elderpaw's pads seemed frozen on the ground. Was that it? They were gonna live beside the rogues as though they were just another clan? Had Bramblestar forgotten that these cats had driven SkyClan from their home? What if they were planning to do the same here? As the rest of the cats headed for the tree bridge, his throat tightened. He didn't want to follow. Going home meant telling Twig Kid that her sister was with the rogues. Bam, bam. Oh my god, huge time skip next chapter? Holy. Massive, like, we skipped through all of winter. Holy. One of the cats in my stories is called Misty Star. What a crazy coincidence. I want to see what these clips are. Hi, Proximity! Mm-hmm. Yeah, tell me what your question is. Suddenly I see, this is what I want to be. Suddenly I see. Why the heck you mean so much to me? Suddenly I see. And she's taller than most. I want to do a Steven Universe karaoke as well. I'm waiting for proximity to tell me. There's a message of person who means the world to me. Can you please rate it? Okay. I'll love again. I've already found someone. Come live with us in the palace. This isn't deadlock. Wait, am I under a deadlock? No, I'm not. Hi, Kyle. We're waiting warrior cats. I'm waiting for proximity to tell me. Oh, there he did write it. God must have smiled the day he painted your soul because even the stars look unfinished beside you. Dang. Shouldn't it be like God must have closed his eyes the day he painted your soul? Oh, wait. Yeah. Something like that, because, like, what would be the distraction? Like, what would have distracted God to not finish the stars? You know, like, God must have looked away, looked at you when he painted your soul, or something like that. You know, like, there's, like, that distraction part. I like the, because even the stars look unfinished. Of course! This isn't deadlock. This is warrior. Did I show up too late for story time? No, we're starting the next chapter now. There's just been a really big time skip, it seems. Thank you for the hydrate, Ben! Do you want to hear your next message? You can post it, but I am probably going to start reading, so I won't be able to read it immediately. Chapter 12. We're skipping winter months because I guess those are boring. Keep your hindquarters low, Ivypool ordered. Twigpaw lowered herself further, her gaze fixed on the leaf ahead. New leaf sunshine dappled the forest floor. Buds lit the trees in a green haze. 4 moons had passed since Violet Kit's disappearance. Wow. In the half moon since becoming an apprentice, Twigpaw had worked hard to impress her new mentor. She wanted to be as good as Larkpaw, Leafpaw, and Honeypaw. They were already learning battle moves, while she was practicing hunting moves on leaves. But they had been made apprentices 3 moons ago, when snow had covered the forest floor and ice had frozen the rivers and streams. Keep your tail still, Ivypool reminded her. Twigpaw pressed her tail flat against the soft earth. She could smell prey scents drifting between the trees, and she longed to be hunting a real mouse. Judge the distance, Ivypool told her. And when you are sure, jump. Twigpaw narrowed her eyes, sensing the space between herself and the leaf. Her hindquarters twitched. Excitement pulsed beneath her pelt. Pushing off with her hind paws, she leaped. She landed skidding on the leaf. It shot along the slippery ground. Her forepaws shot along with it, and she thumped chest first onto the ground. Ivypool padded to her side, purring. Your leap was the perfect distance. Unfortunately, you hadn't prepared for your prey to try escaping. She gently nudged Twigpaw up and flicked a scrap of leaf litter from the apprentice's shoulder with a paw. Landing on balanced paws is the most important skill you will learn. It's vital for hunting and fighting. Twigpaw shook her pelt, embarrassed. I didn't realize the ground was so wet. She glanced at the muddy streak her landing had smeared across the forest floor. Next time you'll remember to think about where you're landing. Landing on mud, stone, or leaf litter all require different techniques, but you did well. Your concentration is excellent and you learn fast. Lilyheart will be pleased when I tell her. Twigpaw purred proudly. Am I learning as quickly as Larkpaw? She knew that Larkpaw was a great hunter already. Lilyheart often boasted how he carried prey home to her every day. It's not a competition, Ivypool told her gently. You must learn at your own speed. But I want to prove I'm special. Moons later, Rose Petal's words still haunted her. Twigget does seem pretty ordinary. And until she learns to hunt, she'll just be another belly to feed for the clan. She stared desperately at Ivypool. I have to be the best. That's not true, Ivypool soothed. But if I'm not, why am I here? Ivypool's gaze shone sympathetically. You've never truly felt part of the clan, have you? She didn't wait for Twigpaw to answer. I hope that one day you will. Twigpaw dropped her gaze guiltily. You make me sound disloyal. No. Ivypool purred fondly. I can see that you are as loyal as any clan-born cat. But you have grown up away from your true kin. That must have been hard. Her eyes brightened encouragingly. Still, Lilyheart is very proud of you. And if your real mother could see what's become of you, I'm sure she'd be proud of you too. What a shame Squirrelflight's patrol never found her. Twigpaw frowned, puzzled. Squirrelflight's patrol? What was Ivypool talking about? Had Squirrelflight led a patrol to search for her mother? Why didn't anyone ever speak about it? Her heart fluttered like a bird in her chest. Perhaps they'd found her mother's body and wanted to protect her from knowing. She blinked at Ivypool. Did they find any trace at all? Only the nest where Alderpaw had found you. It was abandoned. Nothing else? Ivypool shifted her paws nervously. I don't really know. No one's talked about it afterwards. Fear spread down Twigpaw's spine. What was the clan hiding from her? I have to know. Twigpaw glanced up the rise that led towards camp. Alderpaw! He'd be honest with her, even if it were bad news. Can we go back to the hollow now? She had to speak with Alderpaw. Ivypool's tail whisked over the damp leaf litter. I didn't mean to upset you. It's all right. Twigpaw's thoughts were whirling. I just need to get back to camp. Okay. Ivypool watched her anxiously. Ivypool is, like, definitely the best mentor in the clan. And it's entirely because of the arc where she had to train cats to be dark forest warriors. Twigpaw hardly noticed her glistening gaze. She was already climbing the rise and headed for the gorse barrier. She ducked through the tunnel and hurried into camp. Her thoughts raced ahead of her. Alderpaw would be in the medicine cat den. What would he say? Did he know about her mother? As she bounded towards the clearing, Graystripe called from the fallen beach. What's the hurry, Twigpaw? Is something wrong? Firelight was beside the fresh kill pile, sharing a mouse with Fernsong. I need to speak with Alderpaw. Twigpaw burst through the trailing brambles into the medicine den. Jayfeather snorted. Jayfeather snorted but didn't look up from the moss he was soaking in the water, which pooled beside the rock wall of the den. Thought Alderpaw had lost his shadow once you'd been made an apprentice. He shook water from his paws. For a shadow, you make a lot of noise. Alderpaw was picking stale moss from Briarlight's nest. He turned as Twigpaw scrambled to a halt beside him. Did Squirrelflight's patrol find my mother? She demanded bluntly. He blinked at her, confusion clouding his gaze. Squirrelflight's patrol? The one Bramblestar sent to look for my mother moons ago. Frustration churned in Twigpaw's belly. It turned to fear as she saw alarm flash in his eyes. He knew something. Let's talk about this in private. His gaze darted guiltily towards Jayfeather. Don't worry about me. Jayfeather mewed sarcastically. Stay as long as you like. It's only my medicine den, after all. Twigpaw ignored the medicine cat. You have to tell me, she begged Alderpaw. Did they find my mother? Alderpaw nudged her towards the entrance. Come outside. Why? He must have something terrible to tell me. Suddenly light-headed, Twigpaw followed him through the trailing brambles. Alderpaw guided her into the fern hollow beside the den. Out of sight of their clanmates, he met her gaze. We don't know what happened to your mother, he whispered. She stared at him blankly. Why hide here to tell me that? Alderpaw seemed to squirm beneath his pelt. Why was he being so weird? You can tell me if she's dead, she pressed. I'd rather know that than spend my life wondering. I can't tell you. Alderpaw stared at her. I don't know. So the patrol didn't find her? Twigpaw demanded. Alderpaw looked away. The patrol wasn't looking for her, he mumbled. Oh yeah, right! I forgot about that. What? Twigpaw could hardly believe her ears. What was he talking about? Squirrelflight led a patrol to search for my mother. That's what Ivypool told me. Alderpaw shook his head. That wasn't who they were searching for. Not my mother? Then why does Ivypool think that? Twigpaw stared at him, anger surging in her chest as he looked back at her, not replying. Did they ever look for her? Alderpaw stared at the ground guiltily. No. His mew was barely a whisper. Never? Heat seared her pelt as she watched Alderpaw struggling for words. They were looking for something else, he murmured at last. Why does Ivypool think they were looking for my mother? The whole clan believed they were looking for your mother. Alderpaw was still avoiding her gaze. They still do. What were they searching for? Twigpaw tried to think of something more important than her mother. Alderpaw looked at her hopelessly. I can't tell you. Why not? I thought you told me everything. I trusted you. She curled her claws into the ground. It's clan business. Twigpaw's pelt spiked. So I'm not to know because I'm not part of the clan. Of course you are. Alderpaw's gaze rounded guiltily. That's not what I meant. Only a few cats know where the patrol went. It's a secret I can't share with you. Twigpaw hesitated, unsure whether to be hurt that he was keeping secrets from her or comforted that she wasn't alone in being lied to. Irritation sparked through her pelt. Why didn't Bramblestar send out a patrol to look for your mother? Sadness darkened Alderpaw's gaze. He didn't think there was any point. Didn't he care what had happened to her? Twigpaw's heart twisted. I'm sure he did. But a mother doesn't abandon kits who are too young to take care of themselves unless... Alderpaw's mew trailed away. Unless she's dead? Twigpaw lashed her tail. That's what you were going to say, isn't it? She tried to push the thought away, but it nagged at her. It would explain why she'd left them, but we can't be sure. Until they checked, there was still the tiniest, sweetest chance she was still alive. She glared defiantly at Alderpaw. Maybe something happened to stop her coming back. She might have returned and found us gone. She might have wondered where we went. She might still be looking for us. She thrust her muzzle close to Alderpaw's. If you hadn't taken us, Violet Kit and I might still be with her. Dun dun. Before Alderpaw could answer, Twigpaw pushed her away from the ferns and strode out of camp. She wouldn't be in this dumb clan if it weren't for Alderpaw. Oh, what? She'd be with her sister, and her sister wouldn't be with a gang of rogues. Burning with rage, she followed the trail and headed towards the Shadow Clan border. She hadn't seen Violet Kit since Needlepaw had taken her from Shadow Clan, but she was gonna see her now. She was gonna find her and tell her what she'd discovered. Twigpaw had heard the clan gossip, and the words swirled in her thoughts as she pushed past the undergrowth. The rogues lived beyond Shadow Clan territory, near the border with ThunderClan. She headed that way now. I must speak with Violet Kit. She had to tell her that the clan cats had lied to her. What if our mother came back for us? Birds called to one another overhead, warning and serenading, preparing their nests. The sun glittering through the budding branches dappled Twigpelt's back with gentle warmth. She hardly felt it. She veered from the tracks as she neared the border and shadowed the scent line deeper into the forest, where the ground began to rise. She had never been this far before, even on her first day as an apprentice. When Ivypool had shown her ThunderClan's territory, she'd felt so proud that day, knowing that this was her land and that one day she'd be patrolling it, keeping it safe for kits and elders. Who's keeping my mother safe? She lifted her chin defiantly and pressed on. The ground grew softer beneath her paws, turning to mud as the trees thinned. She reached the ThunderClan scent line and crossed it, her heart quickening as she set paw outside clan territory. The rogues must be near. She could smell strange scents. Tensing, she scanned the undergrowth. Darktail's gang seemed more like ghosts than real cats. They never came to gatherings, and they lived on the outskirts of the territory, occasional glimpsed in the shadows by patrols. The clan whispered about them in hushed mews, as though speaking of dark forest cats. Her pelt prickled with unease as she headed away from the sun, trekking closer to the edge of Shadow Clan's land. Opening her mouth, she tasted the air for scents, smelling the new leaf tang of fresh leaves and mud. The ground turned to grass beneath her paws, sloping steeper. Beech and alder grew here. Rowan bushes crowded between the trunks. She slowed, aware that she could already be on rogue territory, and ducked closer to the bushes. A pelt moved ahead and she stopped, her heart lurching. A tom was carrying prey upslope. Twigpaw froze and watched as he padded between two rows of ferns and disappeared from view. Spying? A mew behind her made her spin. Her heart in her throat, she blinked at the young she-cat who was staring at her accusingly. She sniffed and smelled the unfamiliar scent of a rogue. "What are you doing here?" the she-cat demanded. The black splotches on her white pelt rippled as her hackles lifted. "Violet Kit?" Relief surged through Twigpaw. Violet Kit looked well. The rogues clearly hadn't harmed her. Twigpaw stared, hardly able to believe that this sleek young cat was her sister. Muscles showed beneath her pelt. Her paws had grown wide, sharp claw tips showing beneath her fur. Twigpaw hesitated as Violet Kit stared back. Was that suspicion in her gaze? "It's me, Twigpaw." Violet Kit narrowed her eyes. "I'm Violet Paw now." Twigpaw blinked at her. Typo. Shake my head. "Isn't she pleased to see me?" "I came to find you." "Why now?" Violet Paw's gaze didn't betray anything. "I found something out. All the other clans in ThunderClan were told that they sent out a patrol to look for our mother, but they didn't. It was a lie. They never checked to see if she came back for us." The words tumbled from Twigkit, leaving her breathless. Twigpaw shrugged. "Are you really surprised?" "But they should have!" Shock pulsed through Twigpaw. What had happened to her littermate? Had her time with the rogues made her cruel? "Elderpaw lied to me. I thought he was my friend. Everyone believed that Bramblestar sent a search party to look out for our mother. But he didn't. Elderpaw said the patrol was looking for something else." Twigpaw guessed she wasn't making sense, but she needed her sister to understand how she felt. No one in the clan did. Violetpaw was the only one who might. Violetpaw blinked at her, still showing no sign of emotion. Twigkit's eyes widened. "Don't you care either?" "I always thought our mother was dead." Violetpaw frowned. Twigpaw could see that she was thinking, why else would she leave us? What if she came back after Elderpaw took us? Violetpaw tipped her head. She'd have found out we were gone. "She might have been looking for us." Twigpaw willed her sister to feel what she was feeling. After all this time? Violetpaw looked unconvinced. "Don't you want to find her?" Frustration welled in Twigpaw's throat. The break-in behind Violet Kit swished. "Find who?" Needlepaw patted out. Violetpaw jerked her muzzle round, her pelt prickling guiltily. "Hi, Needletail." Needletail. The Shadow Clan apprentice must have been given her warrior name after leaving her clan. She stopped beside Violetpaw. "Find who?" she repeated, her ears flattening. Twigpaw lifted her chin. "Our mother," she mewed, ignoring the fear rippling through her pelt. Needletail had grown. Her body was long and slick, her tail thick and glossy. There was threat in her gaze. "I think she might be alive and searching for us. I want Violetpaw to help me look for her." "Why?" Needletail leaned close, her eyes narrowing. "She has a family here with the rogues." Her gaze flicked to Violetpaw. "Don't you?" "Yes," Violetpaw answered quickly. "The rogues are my kin now. They're way nicer to me than ShadowClan used to be. And Needletail's like a sister." Hurt jabbed Twigpaw's belly. "But I'm your sister. I've been worrying about you for moons." Had Violet Kit forgotten they were littermates? Violetpaw. What is with all these typos in this chapter? "So you won't help me find her?" She felt suddenly wary. Her anger at Elderpaw seemed to drain into the ground. Violetpaw stared at Twigpaw, her gaze softening a little. "I can't just leave my campmates. They fed me and protected me. It would be wrong to leave with you." Needletail's tail twitched. Darktail takes loyalty very seriously. Her mew was a growl. Instinctively, Twigpaw backed away. Violetpaw blinked at her sister. "I'm sorry, Twigpaw. I can't help you. You should go home." "Yeah, clan cat," Needletail sneered. "Go home where it's safe." She glanced upslope, as though watching for rogues. Twigpaw's belly tightened. What if the rogues found her here? Needletail clearly wasn't going to defend her. "Come on, Violetpaw." Needletail headed into the break-in. "Our campmates will be expecting us." "I'm sorry." Violetpaw blinked at Twigpaw, then held her gaze for a moment before turning away. Twigpaw watched the break-in swallow her sister. She stood, frozen, her heart empty. Elderpaw thought her mother was dead. Violetpaw didn't seem to care if she was alive. She suddenly felt foolish. She'd created such a scene, and no cat was interested. She glanced towards the forest. It looked green under the pale blue sky. The sun shone, and she knew that beyond the trees the lake would be glittering. Perhaps finding her mother was a dumb idea. Even if she was still alive, she might have new kits by now. What would she care about two kits she'd abandoned moons ago? Wearily, Twigpaw turned her paws towards home, and patted down the slope. Stop! Hi, Ben! Oh. Snowed. I'm in bed, Nono. Good. Sleep well. Hi, Leaf. On YouTube. What time is it? I can read another chapter. Let's read another one. Chapter 13. Violetpaw glanced over her shoulder, trying to catch a final glimpse of Twigpaw through the bracken. But the young stems bracken. The young stems blocked her view. Doubt tugged in her belly. Should I have gone with her? She is my littermate after all. Hurry up! Needletail flicked her tail as they broke from the bracken and reached the smooth stretch of grass that led towards camp. The hunting patrols will be back soon, and I'm hungry. Patrols! Violetpaw huffed quietly to herself. The rogue's idea of a patrol was nothing like ShadowClan's. Darktail would suddenly decide prey was needed and send cats to hunt, reminding them as they left to mark the ground's ever-changing borders. There was no sense of organization and routine she'd been used to in ShadowClan. Perhaps they'll learn it eventually. Violetpaw quickened her step. She had hardly recognized her sister. Twigpaw looked so different, and she seemed so ThunderClan. Violetpaw suddenly understood what Needletail, Beanos, and the other former ShadowClan cats meant when they joked about ThunderClan acting as though they were better than every other clan. Had Twigpaw really expected Violetpaw to abandon her campmates to go on some mouse-brain mission to find their dead mother? Violetpaw's pelt prickled irritably. Twigpaw only comes to see me when she wants something. She hasn't tried to find me in the 4 moons since I left. Hasn't she been worried about me? She huffed to herself. She thinks her needs are more important than anyone else's. Besides, what makes her think their mother was still alive? Of course she's dead. Why else would she have left them? Twigpaw thinks she's so smart. Typical ThunderClan. Violetpaw huffed to herself crossly. Needletail glanced at her. What are you growling about? Violetpaw shook out her pelt. Nothing. She didn't want to complain about Twigpaw to Needletail. Twigpaw was annoying, but she was kin, although Needletail felt more like her kin now. But what about the others? Violetpaw wondered if she would ever feel as close to the other campmates as she did to Needletail. Raven wasn't as kind as she had been before Violetpaw had joined the group. Aww. None of the rogues were, and the ShadowClan cats who had joined them had as little patience for her now as they had had when she was living with ShadowClan. But I have Needletail. Violetpaw comforted herself. She's all I need. Paw steps thrummed the ground. Violetpaw had followed Needletail's gaze as her mentor looked towards the camp. Rain and Sleekwister bounded after them, each carrying a mouse. They skidded to a halt beside Needletail and Violetpaw. You're running! Needlepaw blinked at them in surprise. Is a fox chasing you? Sleekwhisker dropped her mouse. Why shouldn't we run? We're worried that our campmates might be hungry. She flashed Rain an amused look. Weren't we? Rain purred. Sure. Oh my god! Wait, no way! Rain got together with Sleekwhisker? Oh my god. Bro's playing them. This is not good stuff. This is terrible stuff. I just rest. Have fun reading. Currently sick. I hope you feel better. Oh my gosh. Poor. I mean, not poor. You dodged a bullet, Needletail, but like, yikes. He is a playboy. He was only like trying to seduce Needletail because he wanted her like presence to kind of like push her lead. She's a leader cat, you know? The others follow her, and he needed them to follow her. Gross guy. Needletail scowled jealously? Scowled jealously? Needletail scowled jealously at Sleek Whisker and pushed between the two cats. Violet Paw didn't believe either of them. She could see flattened fur on Sleek Whisker's flank where she had been lying down. Oh my god. Hi, Galaxy. More than once, Violet Paw and Needletail had caught Sleek Whisker dozing in the new leaf sunshine. Rain, too. Neither of them seemed to think hunting was very important these days. Oh my god. Needletail glanced at the mice, clearly unimpressed. That's not gonna feed us all. Let's hope Cloverfoot and Roach got a better catch. I'm starving. Sleek Whisker whisked her tail crossly. What did you catch? We weren't supposed to be hunting. Needletail lifted her chin. I was teaching Violet Paw some new fighting moves. Sleek Whisker stared witheringly at Violet Paw. I don't know why you bothered training her. We don't live in a clan anymore. Let her learn to fight and hunt the way rogues learn, by experience. Or isn't she smart enough? Needletail showed her teeth. Violet Paw is gonna be a warrior, not a rogue. Rain stiffened. Are you thinking of going back to Shadow Clan? Of course not, Needletail snorted. But warriors fight better than rogues. Rain's whiskers twitched. Tell that to 1 star. Needletail tipped her head. But he wasn't fighting just any rogue. Her muse softened flirtatiously. Oh my god! What is happening right now? Needletail tipped her head. But he wasn't fighting just any rogue. Her muse softened flirtatiously. He was fighting you. Rain's eyes sparkled. So you think I fight like a warrior? He patted around Needletail, brushing against her. Better, Needletail answered, purring. Sleek Whisker rolled her eyes. What a playboy! Oh my god. Can you just stop acting like a pair of mouse brains? I want to get this prey back to camp before it gets stiff. Violet Paw's ears twitched. I want to get it back before Cloverfoot's patrol, so you can hide it at the bottom of the fresh kill pile. It was a meager catch, even for Sleek Whisker and Rain. Darktail had begun to notice and complain. At least Silt and Beanos wouldn't want to eat. They were sick with some illness that had stolen their appetite. She saw Rain catch Needletail's eye. Perhaps we should go hunting tomorrow, he mewed. Silkily, just the 2 of us. What am I seeing right now? What am I reading with my eyeballs? Violet Paw frowned crossly. She wasn't going to make it easy for Rain to steal her friend. Needletail promised to show me how to stalk rabbits tomorrow. Needletail dragged her gaze from Rain's. She's right. Was that regret in her mew? Sleek Whisker picked up her mouse and headed for the camp. Rain grabbed his mouse and followed, glancing over his shoulder at Needletail. Violet Paw hurried ahead of her mentor to block his view. As they padded into camp, Cloverfoot turned her head. The gray tabby was standing beside a plump rabbit and thrush. You're back! Sleek Whisker sounded surprised as she dropped her mouse onto the fresh kill pile. Cloverfoot sniffed. Of course. Catching this didn't take long. Juniper Claw was washing leaf litter from his pelt. He looked up. Prey's running well. We've been back for ages, Roach yawned. The silver tom was lounging nearby. Rain dropped his mouse beside Sleek Whisker. How are Silt and Beanos? He glanced towards the drooping rowan bush where the sick cats were sheltering. Oh my god, I'm starting to not be able to read. What the heck? Nettle was the closest to the rogues. The rogues had to a medicine cat, but the brown tabby only knew a few herbs. He tried them all on the sick cats, but nothing had made them better. Rain shrugged. Oh well. He sniffed the rabbit hungrily. More prey for us. Wait! A sharp growl sounded outside the camp. Violet Paw tensed as she recognized Darktail's mew. The rogue leader padded from the long grass edging the camp, his menacing gaze fixed on Rain.
You're getting nothing from the fresh kill pile today.
Rain's hackles lifted.
No cat tells me what I can't eat.
You want to eat?
Darktail padded slowly towards him. Go catch something worth eating.
He stopped beside the fresh kill pile and hooked up a mouse with his claws.
This is kit food.
Violet Paw glanced nervously at Needletail. There was a threat in Darktail's mew, and Rain was eyeing him challengingly. The Grey Tom had been standing up to the rogue leader more and more often. Yesterday, he'd refused to go on a patrol.
Are they gonna fight?
She whispered.
Hush.
Needletail didn't look at Violet Paw. Her gaze was on Rain. Her eyes sparkled eagerly as the long-furred Tom stepped closer to Darktail.
The prey I catch isn't good enough for you?
Rain growled. The rogue leader lashed his tail.
You've been bringing less and less back to camp.
He dropped the mouse.
This is the most pitiful offering yet.
Rain's eyes narrowed to slits.
Have you been counting what I catch? Of course I have, Darktail hissed. I'm the leader of this group. I make sure every cat pulls his weight. You sound like a clan cat,
Rain sneered.
So?
Darktail lifted his chin.
They live well. If you like rules...
Rain flexed his claws.
Rules will keep our bellies full.
Darktail spoke slowly, his vicious gaze not moving from Rain.
Is that why we came here?
Rain hissed.
To hide behind bushes and hunt prey when no one else wants?
He flicked his tail towards ShadowClan's pine forest, stretching far behind them.
We live on a tiny piece of land when there's a whole territory right there for the taking.
Cold fear ran along Violet Paw's spine. Did Rain want the rogues to drive ShadowClan from their land? Why? There was enough prey here, and over the past 4 moons, Darktail had seemed happy to leave ShadowClan in peace. She thought of Pine Nose and Rowan Star, Puddle Paw and Grassheart. Grassheart's kids! Was he threatening them? Hi, Zaro!
We don't need the pine forest yet, Darktail snapped. For now, we've got everything we need, and we don't have to fight for it. We won't be taking over anyone's territory until I say so.
Rain flattened his ears. Oui, c'est français!
You've grown soft. You've grown soft.
A growl sounded in his mew as he crouched threateningly. Darktail's eyes flashed. With a yowl, he flung himself at Rain. Rain reared and caught him, staggering back as the full force of the muscular Tom hit him. Dragging his claws, Rain rolled onto his spine and thrashed viciously at Darktail's belly with his hind paws. Violet Paw leaped back, her heart pounding as the 2 cats rolled, screeching across the clearing. He forgot at me. Yeah, all right, Zaro. See you next week. She'd seen the rogues fight each other before, but today there was a viciousness in their yowls that set her fur on end. Needletail darted around them, her gaze fixed on Rain, her pelt rippling as though thrilled by the fight. Dang, Needletail. Watch out! Violet Paw yelped a warning as Darktail struggled free and swung a paw wildly through the air. Needletail dodged it as it sliced past her and caught Rain hard on the cheek, drawing blood. Scrambling to his paws, Rain ducked a second blow and lunged at Darktail's forepaws, knocking them from under him. He sent the rogue leader crashing onto his belly. Rain reared and slammed his paws hard on Darktail's spine. The rogue leader rolled clear with a snarl. He sprang to his paws, his gaze flaming. Baring his teeth, he leaped at Rain. Violet Paw gasped as she saw the rogue leader sink his teeth into Rain's neck. With a grunt, the long-furred Tom collapsed. Darktail let out a yowl as he pressed Rain to the ground, his teeth still in the Grey Tom's neck. Rain jerked beneath him, his breath gurgling in his throat. Let him go! Needletail's panicked cry split the air. You'll kill him! Violet Paw's breath caught in her throat as Rain fell still beneath the rogue leader. Only when Rain slumped in defeat did Darktail let go. Fear surged beneath Violet Paw's pelt as Darktail backed away. Was this how it would always be in the rogue camp? Bloody fights over leadership? She glanced warily around at the other rogues. Would any of them challenge Darktail? Needletail dropped down beside Rain. Are you okay? Terror lit her gaze. Rain grunted. The fur at his neck shone with blood. Grasping, Rain staggered to his paws and faced Darktail. Darktail scowled.
Who's the leader?
Rain glared at him.
You are.
He growled. Violet Paw was trembling.
Don't challenge me again.
Darktail hissed softly. The tip of his tail twitched menacingly behind him. Rain stared at him, anger showing in his gaze.
I won't. No, you won't.
Without warning, Darktail lashed out as fast as a snake. His claws raked Rain's eye before the Tom could close it. Violet Paw's belly heaved as blood welled around the socket. Rain staggered backwards, ears flat with shock. He let out a agonized yowl before collapsing on the ground. Needletail hunched over him. "You've blinded him!" she shrieked at Darktail. Darktail curled his lip.
I only half blinded him,
he growled.
A half-blind cat threatens no one.
He padded to the fresh kill pile and grabbed the plump rabbit between his jaws, and carried it to the edge of the clearing and began to eat. Violet Paw stared at Rain, horror scorching through her as she saw his face. She'd seen fights here before, but none this cruel. His cheek was ripped and his eye was closed and oozing blood. Nausea swept over her, and she raced from Cap. Skidding to a halt behind an alder, she vomited, her body convulsing with shock. Hydration night here to ensure that you are consuming the daily recommended intake of water, being 33.7 liters for men or 2.7 liters for women. I've drunk none water today. Hunched in her nest, Violet Paw stared through the darkness. The camp was quiet except for Rain's moans and Needletail's soothing mews as she nursed him the best she could. Nettle had been racing in and out of camp all evening with Herbs. Now he crouched outside the patch of long grass where Rain and Needletail were huddled together. Violet Paw watched Nettle's eyes close as sleep overwhelmed him. Darktail's snores echoed across the camp. No moon lit the clearing, and clouds covered the sky. The other cats were curled in their nests. There was still prey on the pile. Darktail had been the only cat to eat. The others had slunk to the edge of camp in silence. Violet Paw wondered if they were as shocked as she was by the brutality of their campmate. She wondered if the Shadow Clan cats regretted leaving their clan now. Perhaps Shadow Clan did not have too many rules. Perhaps Shadow Clan did have too many rules, but the cats looked after one another. They would never blind one another. Violet Paw knew she had to leave. She could not live like this, in a group ruled by fear and claws. But where would she go? Her heart fluttered anxiously as she imagined life as a loner. Perhaps she could ask Rowenstar to take her in? Or Bramblestar? Perhaps some of the clan cats still believed she was part of the prophecy and would welcome her back. She just knew she couldn't stay here. These cats were too unpredictable. What if she said something wrong, or failed to bring home enough prey? How long would it be before Darktail was one of the other rogues turned on her? She could hear Needletail murmuring beyond the long grass. Needletail had been growing closer and closer to Rain. She won't leave him, especially not now. And if they did become mates, would Needletail still have time for Violet Paw? I'd be alone here. Quietly, Violet Paw got to her paws and climbed from her nest, heart pounding in her ears. She tiptoed across the clearing. She paused beside Nettle, who was snoring gently now, and strained to see past him through the grass, but could make out nothing but shadow. She wanted to tell Needletail she was leaving, and to thank her, but she didn't dare risk being caught. Don't worry, Rain. It'll hurt less soon. She listened to the soft murmur of her friend. This would be the first time in moons she'd be without her. Goodbye, Needletail. Her heart aching, she turned away and headed out of camp. The scent of pine and moss filled her nose as dawn broke and early new leaf sunshine seeped into Shadow Clan territory. Violet Paw crouched beneath a bramble, a tree length away from the camp wall. A juicy rabbit lay beside her. Would it be enough? Rowenstar had turned Darktail away when he had come bringing a gift of prey, and he'd told Needletail to take her. You did Shadow Clan no favors by finding her. There's been nothing but trouble since she arrived. We're better off without her. His words still rang in her head, as they had in the moons since she'd left. Was she wasting her time even trying to come back? Perhaps she should head straight for ThunderClan territory and beg Bramblestar to take her in. Twigpaw would support her, wouldn't she? Her heart quickened with fear. What if no clan wanted her? What if they saw her as trouble, just an extra mouth to feed? The rogues would never forgive her for leaving. She'd be a loner. Who's there? Tawny Pelt's mew took her by surprise. A tortoiseshell muzzle pushed through the brambles, and Violetpaw found herself staring into the warrior's green eyes. Violet Kid? She blinked. I'm Violetpaw now. Violetpaw mewed uncertainly. She'd had no naming ceremony. Needletail had decided it was time she began her training. Did that mean she wasn't a proper paw? Tawny Pelt backed out. Come out here. She sounded stern, nervously. Violetpaw grabbed the rabbit between her jaws and crept out. Spikefur and Tigerheart stared at her from behind Tawny Pelt. Are you hunting on our land? Tawny Pelt stared at her, shocked. Violetpaw dropped the rabbit. I caught it before I crossed the border. She wasn't going to make the same mistake Darktail did. Why did you come here? Tawny Pelt demanded. Violetpaw could see confusion and anger in the tortoiseshell's gaze. I want to come back to ShadowClan. She stared at her paws, her mew hardly more than a whisper. Spikefur growled. You chose to leave. You no longer have a place here. Rowenstar told Needletail to take me. Violetpaw lifted her gaze, forcing herself to be brave. I know I was never really wanted here, but I was hoping that I could make a place for myself. Spikefur glared at her. As what? The clan traitor? Hush! Tawny Pelt turned on her clanmate. She wasn't the only one who left. They're all traitors! Spikefur hissed. Tigerheart pushed in front of the angry Tom. Violetpaw was only a kit when she left, and Rowenstar did tell Needletail to take her. She can't be held responsible for her decision. Tawny Pelt was looking at the rabbit. Did you catch that yourself? Yes, Violetpaw told her meekly. Spikefur nudged Tigerheart away. She might have brought others with her. Violetpaw puffed at her chest. I came here by myself. The others don't even know I'm gone. Tawny Pelt poked the rabbit with a paw. It's a good-sized catch. I can see you're not a kid anymore. She nodded towards the camp. Come on, we'll let Rowenstar decide what to do with you. Rowenstar was resting beside the great rock at the edge of the clearing as Tawny Pelt, Spikefur, and Tigerheart escorted Violetpaw into camp. Tigerheart carried the rabbit. As they crossed the clearing, Violetpaw ignored the stares of the ShadowClan cats. She heard Kinkfur whispering to Oakfur outside the Elder's Den, but couldn't make out her words. Pine Nose watched her from the Warrior's Den. Violetpaw avoided the she-cat's gaze, shame prickling her through her fur. She guessed that Pine Nose wasn't thinking anything good about her. Stonewig and Wasptail looked up from washing as she passed the Warrior's Den. Dawnpelt was rummaging through the fresh kill pile, picking at last night's leftovers. Violetpaw glanced towards the nursery, hoping to catch a glimpse of Whirlkit, Snakekit, and Flowerkit. Perhaps they were apprentices by now. The nursery was silent, lit by the early morning sunshine. Rowenstar scrambled to his paws as he saw her. Violetpaw tensed, straining to read his gaze. Was that relief in his green eyes? I knew you'd all come back. His gaze flickered hopefully past her towards the entrance. It's just Violetpaw? Tawny Pelt stopped in front of the ShadowClan leader. She came alone. Rowenstar's eyes narrowed suspiciously. Is she spying? Tigerheart dropped the rabbit at his paws. She wants to rejoin the clans. She brought this as a gift. Rowenstar frowned. Just like the rogues. I'm not a rogue. Violetpaw flicked her tail. Why do the clan cats have to call everyone names? Anger surged through her. Did no cat want her? She'd spent half her life being passed around by other cats. First Alderpaw had taken her from her mother's nest, then Rowenstar had snatched her from ThunderClan, then Needletail had taken her to the Rogues. This was the first time she'd had any choice in the matter, and she was choosing to join ShadowClan. They were lucky. I know I'm not a clan cat now, but I want to be. I've decided to come here. But I can always go to ThunderClan. Worry flashed in Rowenstar's gaze. No. Why? She met his gaze, surprised by his own boldness. We need you here. The ShadowClan leader looked suddenly weary. Perhaps if you come back, the others will too. That's their decision. Violetpaw was unconvinced. Don't take me as bait to catch the others. Take me because you want me as a clanmate. Spikefor growled under his breath.
Don't believe her, Rowan Star. The rogues may have sent her. Could be a plot.
Violet Paw scowled at the Tom. Do you really think they'd send me if they wanted to infiltrate the clan? I'm the last cat Shadow Clan wants. I'm not even clan-born. Tawny Pelt's flanks brushed hers.
Rowan Star, I think we should take her back. It was brave of her to leave the rogues and risk coming here.
Tigerheart nodded.
She may not be clan-born, but she has the courage of a clan cat.
He blinked at her warmly. Surprise prickled through Violet Paw's pelt. Was it really going to be this easy? She stared at Rowan Star, her heart beating fast. Rowan Star hesitated, glancing around the camp. Then he dipped his head.
Very well. We need all the warriors we can get right now. I want you back to Shadow Clan as a clanmate.
He looked towards the fresh kill pile.
Dawn Pelt, you will be Violet Paw's mentor.
That's so sudden. Dawn Pelt patted towards Violet Paw, her nose wrinkling as she approached. Okay, she agreed, but I'm not training her until she's washed off that filthy rogue scent. Violet Paw hardly heard her. She didn't care what she smelled like. Joy flooded her belly. She was gonna be a clan cat again, a real apprentice. Aw, good for Violet Paw. That's so nice. She stuck up for herself. She's learned a thing or two from being in the rogues. She knows where she belongs now. And I have seemingly forgotten how to read in that last chapter, so I think that will be the last chapter that I read today. Oh, Leo sent me something. Oh my god, so cute! Yeah! I get like that after I was reading too. Usually, like, I'm fine if I read it in my head, but out loud, it's kind of like all of a sudden my tongue forgets how to move. Kari got pictures of Oomphy, her cat, in like a little cone pillow thing for her, and she's so cute. Can she reach the one? Honey and some. Oh, wait. Depending on where it is. I won't say that yet. Google. Twitch, Google. I don't even use Google. I use DuckDuckGo, and then I type in Google and DuckDuckGo and either look for it or just kind of like press the button. Okay, I'm gonna read into Serin. She's doing a co-working stream, which is something that I want to do. So maybe I'm gonna like see how she's doing it, if she does it in like a certain way or not. Hi, I am an anime girl. You're right. Okay, she recently had her debut. She has her new model that she made herself. She drew it. It's beautiful, cute, adorable. And she recently got it rigged by somebody, and now it's out and beautiful and cute, and you should go congrats her on her debut, and I don't know, co-work with her or something. I spelled that wrong. I'm going to probably clean or something. Maybe play Deadlaw? Question mark? Okay. Bye guys. Will I stream tomorrow? Stream early tomorrow? Maybe? I want to play Rain World. Either early stream Rain World or early stream rigging. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, bye-bye, you guys. I love you. I love you. Bye. 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 Oh my god, Fields of Mystery, I had an update today. I forgot about that.